everybody. Welcome to Retro Gamer Ranting. No script, just games. I'm your host, Twitch. Did you like that new slogan I threw in there? I don't know, it just popped in my head. It's probably lame, and someone else has probably used it before. But hey, I think it sounds pretty cool. This is episode 4, and I'm pretty much to episode 4 because, hey, there's actually some people who listen to me, and like what I'm doing. So right off the flippin' bat, I'm going to do a few quick shout-outs to the few people that have listened to me and encouraging me to do more of these. They're kind of feeding my delirium about me actually being good at these. But right off the bat, I kind of wanted to do this because these guys are awesome, my IGN community members, and definitely worth checking out on their own. Hirogi007, who I mentioned in my last blog, him and Ray Squared, they do their own vlog together. They're called Nerds Against the World, I think. Please check them out. They are much more awesomer than me, and of course have given me lots of words of encouragement to keep it up. I think HL Blade 2003, another awesome fellow classic gamer. His blog usually has a specific retro classic gaming music for the day, so please give his blog a check out. Probably saying this wrong, but I think it's Beebs720, a fellow gaming dad, I guess you can say, and so he kind of knew where I was coming from with my last blog about passing on the tradition of retro video games on to children. Also, awesome guy. And so those are really sweet, encouraging people. Always saying I'm doing a pretty decent job, and that's really nice of them, even though I know deep down I'm just being, and I really suck at this. I'm just kidding. I hope I don't. But I'd love to. They've hinted at getting together and doing a show together sometime. That would be so awesome. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that or not, but I would love to just get together and do a big old retro round table just talking about everything now and then and everything else. So please, Hirogi007, Ray Squared, HL Blade 2003, Beebs720, Bebs720. Please tell me what's the right way to say it. Please check them out. They're awesome. Moving on. I'm going to try, this is the second attempt at this wonderful little voice blog here, because the last time my microphone was being so stupid it made it almost unbearable to listen to, so hopefully it doesn't do this to me again. I'm also going to try and keep this down to 15 minutes, which is probably going to be hard for me to do because I don't like doing the whole splitting up into two parts, because usually people don't get to the second part. But stuff in modern news today, I wanted to talk about, of course, the new Conduit 2 trailer that came out this week, and my thoughts on that, and if I thought it was as epic as I was hoping it would be. And I also wanted to talk about gaming back at Gamers. I was reading something, I don't know if it was this week or last week it was posted, but it was on nintendolife.com, which I think is a European Nintendo website, but I check it because it has some great stuff on it. Two articles, one from the CEO of N-Space, Dan O'Leary, and another article from the developer, from the creator of the NBA Jam series, Trey Smith. Basically, they had a couple of comments directed towards gamers that, not necessarily negative, but basically saying that, well, the gaming industry is kind of a mess right now. Well, first, let me go with the N-Space one. The N-Space CEO, I think is, like I said, Dan O'Leary, basically was saying that the game industry was a mess, and I'm not going to be quoting directly here. I'm just sort of doing little snippets of what he was saying. But he said it's frankly a mess, and mostly, for the most part, he blames the mess of the gaming industry on app stores for stuff on your iPhone and your Droid. And it basically goes on and says that the only games gamers are buying right now are AAA titles, and all the middle titles that, aren't the ones that are getting as much hype and as much press, of course, are the ones that are suffering. Now, for those of you who don't know, N-Space makes wonderful DS games. Mostly they're known for bringing quality games to the DS. They're currently working on GoldenEye for the DS, and I guess Tron, I think either for the Wii or the DS or both or something like that. and the such. And they're a very talented developer. And of course, but he's basically saying the middle titles are struggling, and basically going on about how you can buy a game on their iPhone for less than a pack of bubble gum. In the meantime, while waiting for the next AAA title to come out, they're going to do that. And, so developers are a little leery and are having a hard time selling those middle titles. So unless if you're a big name AAA title like Halo Reach or any of the Call of Duty games or anything like that, you're pretty much not making any money. Now he's saying this mostly because he had to lay off a bunch of their workers, recently, which is sad, and that's basically what's been happening to a lot of development teams right now. They've either had to shut down, sell out, or lay off people. Voltage Software more recently ended up having to do that as well. They had to lay off a bunch of people, which is very sad because there's a lot of talent in these smaller name developers that unfortunately won't get to shine quite as well because of this. And so he's basically saying that gamers are spending their hard-earned cash on more app store-like video games, and only spending their big bucks on the AAA titles, and not necessarily giving the smaller titles, or at least the middle titles, a chance. Now, moving on to what the NBA Jam developer or creator said, he basically was going off saying, apparently he said an MTV multiplayer blog. He goes on to say, what do you think is, they asked him the question, what do you think is the biggest problem games suffer from? And he went on, and I'm quoting here for the most part, I think one of the biggest problems right now is the actions and attitudes of some of the gamers out there. If they spend less time spewing arrogant hate on the boards and on online games, and more time rallying behind the great games they love and helping to build a thriving community that welcomes everyone to the shows, that shows up to play them, everybody wins. Nothing is wrong with a little smack talk here and there. Just wish gamers respected each other more. Now again, I'm going to get to that in a minute. First, I'm going to respond to the N-Space comments. For the most part, he doesn't quite hit it on the nail on the head on this one. He's basically saying, hey, gamers aren't giving these middle titles a chance because there's cheaper titles on their iPhone. Well, there's a couple of issues here. One is, and this is where Nintendo is trying to head with the 3DS, gamers have become more mobile. There's not much time to sit around in front of their televisions playing games anymore. A lot of the times we have an older generation of gamers that are buying more games now, anywhere from their 20s to late 30s, from their early 30s even to their late 30s. They're buying games, and for the most part, they're working, they're on the move, they don't have time to sit around. Apps on their phones are their way that they're still able to play, and the fact that they're cheap is just extra good. Two, along the same point, we're in a recession. Another problem. It's not that people don't want to. It's a lot of times people have to choose between what games they're going to buy during a month because they don't have the money to buy all of them. There's a lot of great titles coming out right now. I know there's at least 4 titles coming out in the next few months that I really want to buy. I'm only going to have enough money to buy maybe 1 or 2 of them. And to me, I think they're all AAA titles. But the problem is, I don't have the funds. It's called bills. It's called life. It's called gas money. It's called groceries. It's called recession. And that's kind of what gamers are running into. We have older generations of gamers here, and they no longer can just throw their money at these games willingly. They have to save their nickels and dimes. They have to save their coins in a piggy bank like I do in order to buy video games. It might sound sad, but it works, and that's what they have to do. The next comment, again, it's a recession, and and I feel sorry for N-Space. I think they're great developers. I hope they're able to come back from this, but because of this recession, a lot of these smaller developing companies are hurting, and that really hurts me. I wish I had the money to support these people, but kind of hard. The second comments. The fact that gamers smack talking each other is hurting the gaming industry. What? Okay, I'm kind of thinking that it was his way of talking to people who were bad mouthing the new NBA Jam out. Just like, of course, the classic game remade, there are going to be, or remixed for that matter, there's going to be people smack talking it. Look at all the bad talk. Look at any message board underneath a GoldenEye video on YouTube. You're going to see people just being downright angry that they're ruining my memories of GoldenEye. I've commented on this before. It's not going to ruin your memories. It's not a remake. It's sort of a re-imaging. And that's kind of what NBA Jam is, too. And I'm sure it's a great game. I loved NBA Jam. I'm happy that Trey Smith made it back in the day and is remaking it. The fact that people don't play games because of the smack talk or are afraid that people are going to say bad things about them on message boards, that's not really hurting the gaming industry. It's always going to be there. There's always going to be some 15-year-old swearing at you over the headphones. There's always going to be some 7-year-old doing it. That's just how it is. You kind of learn to live with it and tune it out. It's not hurting the gaming industry. It's not making people buy less games. It's not making them buy more games. It's just how it is. It's kind of how the gaming is. And I do agree there needs to be a little less smack talk in the world of gaming. I kind of get a laugh when I'm playing something like on Call of Duty or Combat Arms when I watch my brother-in-law. Everyone's saying that, oh, noob, and oh, you're a hacker, and everyone's just in a foul mood. But, you know, they're still playing. But anyway, I don't think that's a big downfall to the community. Okay, moving on before I get more long-winded. Conduit 2 finally came out with a trailer. Now, anyone who's followed any of my written blogs knows I've been waiting for this for quite a long time. I was expecting a trailer at this year's E3. Nothing showed up. Basically, the only real footage we've had is off-camera videos of people playing these games at E3, and they're not really good quality. So it was nice to finally see a trailer. Was it epic? No. I was disappointed. You want epic? Look at the first trailer for GoldenEye. That had build-up, that had suspense, that was epic. Conduit 2, not so epic. So, it still looked good. Unfortunately, it just seemed like random shots of fighting thrown in there. You didn't really get a good look at any of the bad guys or the enemies. You got to see one of the bosses. That's kind of nice. But other than that, you know, a lot of the weapons looked the same. They maybe only showed off one of the new weapons in the trailer. But this is the first one. So hopefully they'll take a book out of the whole GoldenEye experience and release more and more that expands on the story and the multiplayer. But it's good to finally see it out there. I'm still hoping that Conduit 2 will be the Wii's Halo. So, yeah, I did say that. But anyway, I'm getting to the 14-minute mark. Yes, I said I wasn't going to watch time, but I have to do that or else I'm going to get long-winded. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm not going to do a question of the week today. I might come back and do one later because I didn't really get much responses from last week's question of the week. So who knows? Maybe next time I'll be doing a Halloween special or something talking about Halloween games. But those are my comments, and as always, I love to hear back from you, and I hope to. So please leave a comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, game fans, this is Twitch. Keep playing.